one of the NFL's most notoriously cheap franchises does the unthinkable as they pay both of their star wide receivers. It was recently announced that Jamar Chase and T. Higgins would sign extensions with the Cincinnati Bengals. Jamar Chase was signed for 4 years, $161 million deal that includes $112 million guaranteed. This would make Jamar Chase the highest paid non-quarterback in the NFL at $40.3 million annually a season. Now, T. Higgins really comes as a surprise when they extended him, just due to the fact that the Bills are not a team known to pay majority of their star players what they deserve. T. Higgins is undoubtedly the highest paid wide receiver two in the NFL as he signs a deal for 4 years, $115 million that is guaranteed through the first 2 years of the contract. Now, this comes to a surprise also due to the simple fact that the Cincinnati Bengals will have to still find ways to amass a strong enough roster to allow them to get on a playoff push that they lacked a season ago. There are some holes on this Cincinnati Bengals team that still need to be attended to. For example, the defense was not great last season. The Bengals did allow Trey Hendrickson to look around the NFL for a new home, which would come to a surprise because they should have signed him. His efficiency on the defensive line will be important for that Bengals pass rush. And also keeping Joe Burrow upright is going to be key for this Cincinnati Bengals team. Now, some may decide that you could save more money by letting a T. Higgins walk, but there's not too many teams in the NFL, especially if you look at how the Eagles' success was a season ago, that have 2 wide receivers who are truly wide receiver 1 caliber players. Jamar Chase, triple crown receiver a season ago, but T. Higgins also was huge for this Bengals teams in games in which Jamar Chase wasn't as effective. Now, for Joe Burrow, he's probably ecstatic. He definitely advocated for both his wide receivers to get paid what they were due, and it ended up happening. The Bengals, a team that really, it's almost embarrassing some of the things that have come out of that organization in terms of their ability to maximize the talent that they have around them. And honestly, if I'm a Bengals fan, this is a move that makes me somewhat optimistic, an uncharacteristic move by an organization that hasn't done moves like this. You're paying 3 guys on the roster, star level players, might I add, top dollar. So this shows you that the Bengals are trying to maximize this window that they have with their 2 star-studded wide receivers and their franchise level quarterback. Now, in order for the Bengals to make a push for a Super Bowl playoff contention, they will have to upgrade their offensive line, and they're going to have a great draft in 2025. You're going to have to find pieces that fit around this roster and that aren't expensive. When you pay your top 3 offensive players the amount of money that they pay them, it's going to be truly hard for this team to go into free agency or look around the league and pay top dollar for veteran players. You're going to be asking a lot of young players to grow up very early on this Cincinnati Bengals teams. And this is a team that's in a conference with the AFC North that is truly a gauntlet to go through. Now, some may argue, well, the Cleveland Browns are nothing to laugh at, but when you're a team that doesn't play great defense and has holes on your offensive line, there are things that can be exploited. This is a team that lost to the Patriots in the first game of their season a year ago. And yes, the Bengals did get their stuff together later in the year, but it wasn't enough to get them to the playoffs. A slow start for them in 2025, 2026 wouldn't be a good recipe for success, as the division of the AFC is by far, it's like the equivalent to the Western Conference to the NBA. It's a grudge match. You have to go through Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, Justin Herbert. There's a plethora of quarterbacks who are in this division that make it hard, and you're not going to be able to waltz through the AFC North. And let's be honest, you don't know if Pittsburgh is still cooking up. They're a team that always finds ways to win with Mike Tomlin at the helm. If they get Aaron Rodgers or re-sign Russell Wilson, what are they going to look like? So I'm excited for T. Higgins and Jamar Chase. These are players that you should pay. They deserve every penny of the contracts that they just signed. However, there are still some front office question marks that you have to raise about the Cincinnati Bengals. This is a team that we've seen with this level of talent offensively. However, over the last 4 or 5 seasons, it's kind of been the same story where you have this potent offense and these great perimeter weapons, but you can't stop anybody defensively, and your run game is dicey due to the fact that there aren't many legitimate guys up front who can really win in the trenches from an offensive line standpoint. I am happy that the Bengals are starting to spend some money, but it's going to be a team that may potentially have to go into a luxury tax just in order to make sure they can compete with the rest of the AFC. But congratulations to Jamar Chase and congratulations to T. Higgins. Well deserved.